Oh, okay. Congratulations, your first stream. I mean, you're screen sharing, so. It's not showing us, though. No, it's just showing your screen. Nope. It's showing like some wild stuff. It's just showing your tab or like your old tab. Can you use, what does YouTube like look at? Are you using OBS? Okay, that's kind of better, but it's literally showing like our foreheads, like your forehead and then mine eye. No, what you need to do is make the picture smaller on Streamlabs. Yeah, like minimize it. Yeah. Nope. I mean, I can see your Streamlabs picture. Like change what your stream, change what the stream is seeing to like the actual Zoom call. I mean, make that bigger. All right, that's, I mean, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, I mean, make the Zoom call full screen and see if that changes anything. I mean, that's probably gonna be, yeah, if we want to. Give me recording rights. I'll just keep the backup as a.
Recording in progress.
All right. You need. Yep. Wait, before you start, mute the stream on YouTube. Yeah, mute YouTube. because I can hear it in the background. All right, cool. Now we're officially live. Accusations. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is like we have to look at it from artist point of view. So like artists are constantly, it's been a big problem in the industry. I mean, even like rapper, not just rappers, but athletes and everything like that. Like I said in one of our last talks, like Big Sean talks about it, where he has a clip where he's essentially somebody's talking about like the NFL and the NBA make billions of dollars off of their athletes, and then they get like what, a $54 million deal. Some of the like players who just get picked up like straight out of college and everything, they only get like 5-6 million for like 3-4 year contracts. And it's like at the surface level, yes, this sounds like a dope deal, but you have to also think that you're in a contract. And excuse me, us speaking from being in the military, like we signed up for a contract, or you were in the military or veteran now. We signed up for the military, we got a contract, and everybody's like, oh yeah, like the benefits are good and this and that. And not to talk bad about the military or anything like that, but it's still a contract. I've experienced a lot of good, dope things in the military as far as like traveling the world. I mean, you're in Okinawa now. Like, would you have gotten there without the military? Most likely, would it have taken a little bit? I mean, you never know. I mean, that's the thing, though. Yeah, I mean, but the thing that still the fact is like there's a lot of things that I did with my contract that I probably wouldn't have done in the near future when I was like younger. So like traveling the world, seeing, I mean, traveling the world multiple times. But with that being said, it's like, okay, Kanye signs $100 million deal with Apple. Why would Apple allow Kanye to make more money than what they would make off of it? Like, that's how you have to look at it from point blank, period. It's like, okay, like $100 million sounds dope, but Kanye's a billionaire. So it's like, okay, think about $1 billion. Like 100 mil is just essentially like somebody being like, yo, we'll give you $1 compared to like the money that you could make. And granted, he won't make as much money up front with the Steam player or a STEM player, but it's one of those things where it's a step in the right direction for him to gain his own ownership to his products. He controls how he sells his product. And I think it's a dope idea. I think a lot of people are closed-minded to the idea of artists taking different routes to promote their music. A lot of people are saying like ego, pride, all these things. But if we look at Tory Lanez released a NFT album. and he made millions of dollars in a matter of 30 seconds. So it's like you have all these artists who are struggling to make millions of dollars, and now there's other opportunities to do that by yourself, where you're getting 100% of your royalties, you're getting 100% of your profits, and all it takes is a little bit of turning down deals, and that's where it really starts. So I think this is a dope idea. Granted, a lot of people are probably not going to buy it just because they're like, okay, I'm not going to, either they don't have the $200 to spend on the player, or they just think that it's a con, this and that. But like the player does a lot of other things. And of course, like all these media platforms who follow Kanye and who have to report on him are going to be like, oh, this player is trash, like this and that. And they're going to compare it to a lot of stuff. But like, think about the first iPad, like the first iPod, like even Zoom, if anybody remembers that. I mean, I'm showing my age at that point, but it's like Microsoft tried to take a chance at Apple and it just kind of flopped. But there was a lot of things that they could have improved on. And we went from iPads that pretty much nobody has iPads anymore. I mean, I still got one and I don't use it. I mean, it's just sitting underneath my console. But at some point they had to start somewhere. And if you look at like the first couple iPads, like they were not great. So if this is a step in the right direction to build something that's going to be better, like who knows, like maybe in 10 years that player will have a screen on it. Maybe you'll be able to edit videos inside of it and everything like that. And I think it's amazing. Like, I think people need to just stop looking at things as like, oh, he's just trying to get money. He's trying to get money. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, if I'm going to put out a product that's going to put money directly into my bank account and I don't got to go through a contract with Apple. He's had a lot of bad run-ins with his label where his labels wouldn't let him retire and things like that. Like, so it's like, do you want to be a slave to these companies forever, or do you want to break free of the shackles and do your own thing? And I think that it takes a lot to step out and do things that you want. And with this, I mean, I'm 100% behind it, to be honest. I don't look at it as like an ego or selfish type thing. It's like, I mean, at a certain point, you do have to be selfish because we're talking about money. And I think it's an amazing idea, just to say the least. I mean, how do you feel about it? Nah, speak that, speak that. Bro, it's still big. I mean, yeah. If it plays, yeah. Oh yeah, way more. I mean, even the Chameleon Mayor talked about it, where he's like, "Yo, I had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for his track to be number one, like with marketing, promoting, all this stuff." And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, this song made millions of dollars, and who got paid? Not Chameleonaire. They didn't. That's the thing. Mhm. Yep. Oh yeah. We even watched a video the other day where it was like, I think it was Chameleonaire still, where he was like, by the time he finished and his album was number one, like he was still $200,000 in debt to his record label. And that's, you know, Imagine selling a million CDs and just getting like $17,000. Yeah. Yeah. Even Dr. Dre like became a billionaire like over the like last 10 years. No, not at all. Yep. Uh, yeah, like meat. This man meat writing. Nah. But yep, 100 mil. You good. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Crumbs. And the thing is to speak on that, um, like, bruh, like it's the fact is at the end of the day, I looked at the list of billionaires, like, and I'm like going down the list of billionaires, and everybody's like, oh, Dr. Dre and all these dudes made billions of dollars. Kanye West, Dr. Dre, and Jay-Z are at the bottom of that list, like literally bottom 10%, like bottom 10 at that of billionaires. And it's like, if you look at the top billionaires, like they're making like nobody would say anything to Bezos if he was doing the same thing where he's like, "Yo, I'm not about to like." Who is Bezos making deals with where he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll take $100 million from you guys so I can do." No, he literally bought up the whole infrastructure of like Amazon, like as far as like the boats, as far as like the transportation, like as far as like where it's being sold, buying buildings so that he can get the product to you quicker. Like you could literally order something on Amazon at 9 o'clock in the morning and have it by 3 p.m. Yeah. No, on his egotistical, and it's like it's not a scam. Like it's like, bro, people buy iPods and iPhones and all these other things, and they promise all this stuff, and your phone starts acting weird. I mean, Apple got caught up in a lawsuit where they were like literally slowing people's phones down so that people would buy, yeah, like people would buy new phones and nobody bats an eye. It's like, oh, they did so much bad stuff, but then they'll still go buy it. Uh, Kanye releases something and it's just like, oh, well, Kanye's this, Kanye's that. Kanye. All right, let's take Kanye out of the whole equation. Let's just listen. No, no. Mm, yeah, there is no difference. Like it's literally not. And even oh, I don't know what it will take for people to like really realize like a contract is binding. Like there's so many ways that you cannot get out of a contract when a contract starts. And it's I would never want to for my entire life be owed something. Like I owe something to somebody. Like a contract's dope if it's going to prepare you to the next level, but it needs to be like this is cut and dry. This is what I want. And even if we look at the Shark Tank, like a lot of people go on to these Shark Tank shows to like be like, hey, I need you to fund my business. But when you look at the deals, the millionaires and billionaires are literally being like, I need 25%. Like I need 25% of your whole profit. Like, and it's like 25% doesn't sound like a lot. But the thing is with the contract, it's made so that the billionaires and the millionaires get paid first. So it's like before you even see a dollar, I need 25% of your sales. Okay, cool. Then they don't even have to worry about taxes and all that other stuff. They leave you to deal with all the taxes. They leave you to deal with all the stuff that's just going to be like a headache. And they've already ran off with your money and they're putting your money into something else. So it's like, why wouldn't it goes back to instant gratification. So the instant gratification is like, yo, I get my business off the ground. I get to put my stuff out and everybody's gonna love it and everything like that. But that 25% could have taken you to a whole nother level had you gotten it. And it's like, okay, like, and the thing is, like most of the time, it's a lifelong deal. So it's like, okay, I want 25% of your sales no matter what. So what you have to do now is they get 25% of that. They helped you get to the next level. You have to create a whole new project that is going to hit as good as that first one so that you are able to get all your money. And that's not, I mean, that's not easy. Trying to recreate something that's like a stroke of genius sometimes can be the most challenging thing because you're putting so much pressure on it. And your first project is probably always going to be like your best like idea, your best like, okay, this can work. Now I'm not saying that for everybody. There's plenty of people who have gone out and made multiple things just pop like that, and that shout out to them. But that's a very small percentage, super small percentage. Even we talk about Gary Vee, who's talking about social media and everything like that, and he's like, yeah, you see these people going viral, but like in a year, maybe 500 people go viral and get famous off of TikTok, off of YouTube, off of all these platforms. And there's millions of people on these platforms. So look at 500 people that are just like busting out of the mold for everything. And it's like some people are just going to have to be average. Like get your money where you can get it, make something that is yours and have ownership of it. And I think ownership is the biggest thing. Ownership of your own things, regardless if you're making less money. At the end of the day, I don't want to pay anybody else for something that I created. Mm. Scientists. Yeah. Mhm. A little, just a little bit more so that you didn't have to struggle. Yeah. 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 It's a trap though. Oh yeah. Yeah. For years. Like, and that's the thing too, is like the thing is like if his music is on the streaming platform, like they're getting paid every time it's being played, and people are going to listen to that for the next 10 years no matter what. Donda 2 could come up in a brief discussion and somebody's going to play it. A track could pop off like later, somebody could sample it, and then it's going to get played, and then Apple's going to keep making music, Apple's going to keep making music, and Kanye is going to get his $100,000. So whatever he does with that 100 or $100 million, yeah, like whatever he does with that $100 million has to be greater than that. And I truthfully don't think it is, because Apple is so big that no matter what, and I'm talking about people who put Kanye stuff and even just other music on repeat, and they don't even know half the time. Like it's just like you could put on a mix and then Kanye's song comes up. Even if you skip that, like it's still being played. It's still being sent to a queue that's saying, okay, this record was played. Uh, with the stem player, like you have to actually buy his stem player. And even though resellers may make money off of it or anything like that, but every time that sells, he's making the money. He could sell it as a wholesale to China, to India, to South America, or anything like that, and he's gonna make all that money. Period. Like he can mass produce them. Somebody can make a deal with Kanye because now he puts the power in his hands to make the money. So it's like if he says like, okay, the first stem player was a nice start, and then we're gonna put a screen on it, and then make it into like a sidekick where now you can make beats off of it, and this and that. Like it's always going to be constantly evolving. If we look at where the first iPad started, the first iPad low key probably couldn't even video edit like at all. And now we have these M1 chips in the new iPads where for $900 you could almost get a gaming computer, or at least an editing computer, uh, at the palm of your hands. Like I've literally edited videos from our podcast on my iPad, and it took like 30 minutes to, I think my longest one was like 30 minutes, and I was literally trying to make it 4K video, like all the bells and whistles and everything like that. Granted, it drained my battery like super quick, but 10 years ago, I couldn't even imagine editing a video at 4K resolution on the go, like from my bed, like at the dinner table, like in my car, like if I have Wi-Fi, things like that. And you can even do these things on the phones now. We watched a video the other day where a chick made a TikTok in 60 seconds while talking. and that TikTok probably saw millions of views. And it's like, now we have to get into the younger generation who is literally growing up on that. And I was like, this is mind blowing. This is mind blowing that somebody who's 18 to 24 years old can take their cell phone, make a TikTok, upload it to YouTube, upload it to TikTok, upload it to whatever, Instagram, and get millions of views and start making money off of that. And how long did it take? 60 seconds, 60 seconds to make. Now imagine if this person had their own platform where it's like, okay, now they have Patreons, which you probably pay a portion of your earnings to Patreon. I mean, every site that you're using. But imagine if we made our own sites. Like, now you can charge other people to make money off of them, and you don't even have to do anything. You're just offering them a platform. I mean, me and you have talked about even having a platform as far as like rivaling Twitch, and as far as the infrastructure and everything costs. I mean, yeah, it would take years to perfect, because you got to think about, I mean, hackers are literally trying to hack your stuff all the time. You got people's financial information linked to their bank accounts and everything like that. So this isn't something that you could just do in your basement. It's an idea that can be thought up in your basement. As far as like even Facebook was thought up by some college students. And truthfully, if you look back at like what Facebook originally started as, it was literally like a way for college students to communicate with each other. And I think it was limited to like a certain school at one point. Exactly. And now he's talking about the metaverse and growing it. I mean, it's already changed their name to Meta, and they're preparing for the future of what VR is going to be, how communication is going to be. And maybe it's our generation who's just stuck in this whole like, no, that's not possible, that's not possible. But people are really making the impossible happen, because technology is evolving so fast, and the technological boom is something that has always advanced civilizations. And we're thinking about like civilizations evolving. Think about when the wheel was invented. Like, people went from like carrying their stuff, like not even like dragging stuff on sleds, all types of stuff. And then the wheels invented, and like people were getting to places half the time. People were tying horses to it. People were tying, I mean, it's a process, because like the wheel was invented, and then somebody was like, oh, we can make the wheel. So like, let's make something that can propel us faster. And then cars are made, and then planes are made, and it's just going to keep on evolving. And I like the way that technology is going right now. I think technology is advancing in a very nice way, because I'm in love with tech. Like, tech is amazing. It's the way of the future. So me being able to do so much at the palm of my hands with like iPad and a cell phone, I'm mobile all the time, all the time. I mean, granted, Wi-Fi is kind of iffy, but even that's going to evolve at a certain point where we're going to be having fiber optic style Wi-Fi where you're instantly downloading things. Like, okay, I want to watch this movie, boom, it's at the palm of your hands. Like, so the next 10 years is going to be crazy. The new age of kids coming up and the younger generation is going to be at a level far surpassing what we were at. I mean, I remember my first phone, Nokia block phone, even my first camera phone. My first camera phone, pixelated, bro. You could barely even send a picture message. And now I can send a whole podcast to you. I mean, granted, depending on like, I can send clip. I mean, think about TikTok. You can send those clicks instantly, 4K resolution, straight to my phone. So, but that's enough on the Kanye thing. We'll dig deeper into it. We'll probably get some more talks going where we dig like super deep into it, but we can transition into this allegations. So until next time, for the YouTube video, we'll catch y'all next time. And then this will be the start of our second video.
Recording stopped.
Yo, okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Best lover, the love doctor, Mr. Long Piping. All right, let me stop. Look out for the. I don't know who said that. Couldn't have been me. Mhm. What fight? Never heard of it. Chris Brown would never put his hands on a woman. Yep. I mean, he would just, he'd probably be in jail, to be honest. I mean, the thing is, most of these, and that's the thing too, is like most of these cases literally settle outside of court, where it's just like, oh, we'll just pay you an undisclosed amount, and then it just you never hear about it again. And I think that started back in the day, where suing people started getting real big. The infamous lady who drank some McDonald's coffee and she burned her mouth, and she was like, "Why didn't you tell me my coffee was hot?" And it was like, bro, really? And she won that case against McDonald's. She won a lawsuit, and then McDonald's had to put on their cups caution very hot or caution hot so that they couldn't get sued. Bro, I'm dead serious. Like, yeah, this happened like years ago, like probably 10, 15 years ago at this point. But that's why like you see your cups that say caution, like there's all these warnings now for like choking hazard and all these wild things. But we're talking about Chris Brown. Yeah, like I mean, Long Beach Griffey just did that video where he was just like, "Oh, I wish I was a woman," or like, "If I was a woman, I'd be doing this, and that." And like, he's like, literally, he's like, "Yo," like he got like super dark about it, where he was like, "Oh, if I was a woman, I just tell people that dudes are raping me, or all these things." Yeah, like sexually assaulting me, and everybody would believe me. And it's gotten to that point where it's like the women who are actually going through these traumas and uh, having to deal with these situations aren't being believed now. And that's wild, because a lot of these women are making it hard for women who actually need to get the justice that they want. And like it's easy for people to get off on allegations because like, oh, it's allegations and this and that. But it's really wild. But the thing is like there's no accountability, because it's like, okay, we know that. Even we done the talk with Drake. Drake had the whole woman trying to sue him after she tried to impregnate him herself with his semen out of a condom, and it had hot sauce in it. And it's just like people are like, oh well, like making excuses for it. And I like me, I'm like, bro, there's no excuses for that. Like you nah, like you tried to impregnate yourself with a condom and didn't notice, like, oh, maybe like, why is it this color? Like, yeah, like why, like, yeah, like this don't look right. And the thing is, like, she might actually get paid for that. That's the worst part. Is like, I mean, we saw the Brittany Rayner situation where she literally married this dude, took his money, getting alimony, and now she's just like, why does nobody want to talk to me? Like, it's hard for me to find a relationship. What do you mean it's hard for you to find a relationship? You made a book talking about how you could hustle dudes out of their money. And you think some dude is gonna just be like, bro, maybe he wasn't hitting it right. Like, no, like that's not the case, bro. Like you were untrustworthy, like, period. Oh, I know somebody's gonna do it. Yeah, like it's not about that though. I mean, but that's the thing is like men need to hold themselves accountable. Hold your boys accountable, bro. It's like, bro, like if I seen one of my boys, all right, if my boys see me like shooting my shot at Brittany Rayner, I'd be like, hey, y'all need to make sure that like I don't do this. Cause it's like, bro, dudes will literally be like, nah, I'm good. Like she gonna love me, like this and that. I'm like, bro, like dudes are falling for this trap. And I think like, I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff on TikTok going back and forth where dudes are just kind of tired. It's just like, I remember I seen this video where this chick was talking about like, I'm out here shaking my ass like an Olympic like all-star and nobody's paying attention to me. And it's like the dude did a snippet where he was just like, oh, the tables have turned. Like, nah, remember in 2021 and 2020 when y'all was talking about like, if I'm out in public, I don't want a dude approaching me. All these dudes are thirsty, this, and that. So dudes is just like, bet. Y'all don't want people approaching y'all. Y'all don't want people complimenting y'all. Y'all don't want men to be men and be like, oh, I'm going to take you out to dinner, this, and that. You have videos of chicks like hustling dudes where it's like, oh, I told this dude I wanted to go out to dinner with him and then like just left him in a restaurant. Like there was a sad video where this dude was like, yo, my crush finally accepted my date request. This dude took this chick out on a date. She ate the food and was like, yo, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and left him in a restaurant. And the dude was just like, I don't think she's coming back, guys. It's been 45 minutes. And like she's laughing to the bank about it. Like, oh, I conned this dude out of a free meal. And that's what it's really coming down to, bro. It's like these women are literally conning dudes out of meals. Like it's so petty, like the things that they're trying to get is like, oh yeah, I got a ride to the bus station. Like I got a free meal. And it's like, that's not ambitious at all, like at all. So it's like, why am I going to waste my time with something like that, bro? Like, nah, I'm gonna need you to speak something. Oh yeah, period. They're just gonna travel and be like, you know what? And the thing is like, um, I mean, it seems like it's like, yeah, it seems like it's heavily Western women who are just like, I mean, bro, we see the videos nonstop. And the thing is, it is a vacuum. Like they're literally funneling the social media and the content that they want you to see to these social media websites because it's like all you see, all you like, it's like everybody's talking about the same things. Oh, men aren't this, women aren't that, women are hustling men are like getting back on their grind. Like I look on IG every once in a while, and it's literally like the dudes are literally in the gym working on their business, single, like doing all these things. They're just like, yo, I'm focusing on myself. And then you got the women who are just like, oh, I'm a prize, twerking, doing all these wild things, and it's just like they're flip-flopping the whole thing because like I was talking to somebody the other day. It was like, yo, dudes used to be the ones like wilding and partying all the time. And now it's like all the females, like the females are the ones out there talking about like, oh, I'm trying to get drunk. I'm trying to party, this, and that. And the dude would be like, nah, I'm trying to chill. Like, I'm trying to like get this money. I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to like not be struggling. I'm trying not to work for somebody, all these things. And the females are like, oh, I should just get money for being alive. Like we talked about the Blue Jasmine thing. And that wasn't even the wildest part. Like we saw another video where the chick was like, oh, I want a provider. This dude's got to be able to buy me a car, buy me a house. Yeah, where it was like, oh, I don't need to do anything. Like I just need him to take care of everything. I'm not gonna clean, I'm not gonna cook, I'm not gonna do this, and that. And like the comment sections, they were dragging her, bro. It's like, bro, she's a she's raising his children. I mean, even at that, like, what are your children gonna eat, bro? And then even Kevin Samuels, it was just like, bro, there's so many like different views on this because it's like Kevin Samuels talked about it where it's like, okay, like he had two black women on his show where it was just like, oh, you guys don't want to be submissive to men, but then you want them to do all these things. And it's like a man works for a higher power, which is God. And then under the man is the woman. And then under the woman is the kids. The man's job is to take care of the family, to take care of all the things that would stress, like that a woman shouldn't be stressing about. And then the woman's supposed to be nurturing, caring, take care of the kids, make sure the kids are good, making sure that they're getting fed, all these things. And then the kids are supposed to learn from the parents and see like, okay, what is my role in life and everything like that. And that's not even to say like, oh, women have to be super submissive to men. It's not, it's that's such a small way of thinking about it. It's like, yeah, yep, yep. And it's just like, I mean, even with like, I mean, the World War III stuff, like they're talking about, oh, World War III, and then like there was a post on TikTok where it was like, oh, I don't hear no post about men ain't being shit now that they're talking about drafting people into the military and to go fight this war. And then you got the women who are like, oh, well, I'm a housewife now. Like I know how to cook. I got me a cookbook. Yeah, y'all got that. And if, I mean, I saw a video too where there was a feminist movement in Paris, and the feminist movement in Paris, uh, they were like, some dude in a comment was like, oh, I don't see them talking about women going back to the Ukraine to fight with the men. Whereas like literally like they started drafting people in the Ukraine to be like, yo, if you're a man between 18 and whatever age, like you're not leaving the country. And then what they do, they funneled out all the women and children. But it's like, if we're fighting for equal rights, then the women should be right there with them. If you're a woman, able-bodied woman who doesn't have any children, you're gonna have to fight. Like that's what it should be. Like, and that's equality. That's women empowerment, things like that. And there are women over there fighting. Like you see uh, the old women like who's been like they seen some shit and they got AKs and they got rocket launchers and stuff like that. So I mean that's not the stuff that's being projected into the news. Like that's not the vision that they're seeing, because like if truthfully like feminists should be like, oh, look at this woman empowered to fight for her country, like this is what we need to be doing, this and that. And bro, I mean it's a slippery slope. But I mean we got a little bit off topic with the whole Chris Brown situation, but it's so much, every talk is so much more than just the baseline of the topics that we're trying to cover. Because no, you got it. Hmm. countless hours of no sleep. Yeah, like, and it's like even in that aspect, when you're given a project in most of these companies, it's like, yo, figure it out, build a team. If somebody's lacking in that team, then you have to make up for that. Like you have to make hard decisions. Sometimes emotions don't play into any of these situations. Let's just be honest. Like a lot of men think logically when it comes to these situations because that's the only way you can think about it. If you bring your emotions into any business relationship, you're probably going to get played. That's just point blank period, because successful businessmen play off of people's emotions and they play off of the vulnerabilities of people. So with that being said, as we're genetically, generically, biologically, whatever term you want to use, like we're designed in a certain way. And I guess like people are trying to break the mold, and that's fine. I mean, it's a part of human evolution to break the mold and eventually be something better than what we are. But at the same time, it's going to take a lot more than just saying like, I want equal rights. Like it's especially when you have one side fighting for equal rights and then you have another side fighting to just dog out men and use them and abuse them. So this is a whole world issue where nobody can agree on the right things. Usually when it means one side is going to take a L or like lose out on some type of opportunity, some type of gain, they're like, oh no, we're not doing that. So then it's constant bickering. That's a big thing too, is like in every situation, you're not going to get what you want. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices and be like, yo, I'll make the sacrifice if it means it's for the greater good. But at a point in time when things are leveled out, then I will reattack it to get more of what I want. So yeah, yeah. And I mean, wrong or right, they're still going to do it. I mean, that's the thing too, is like that's the privilege that they have. Like, and the justice system, while it can help a lot of people, it does hinder a lot of people. And the thing is, I mean, we could even go into the same talk with like child support and everything like that, where it's just like most of the time women win the cases when it comes to child support, because it's always like, oh, well, men don't know how to raise children and this and that. And the woman's gonna be more nurturing. And then it's like, why is our system set up like that? If there's not like a baseline for like women being nurturing, women being uh, better providers for children and things like this, because that, I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it right now because that's a whole nother discussion, because like the baseline of most of these laws and everything like that are based on our old thinking of generic buildup where women are more nurturing, caring, things like this. But there's a lot of like single mothers out there who are just not, should not be raising children, like period. I mean, but the thing is, some women just want to be traditional, and that's the thing about feminists, is like whenever a woman is like, "Oh, I want to be traditional," sometimes they just get attacked. Like I remember the whole Adele situation where Adele was like, uh, "I enjoy being a woman," and they attacked her for that stuff. So it's just like if yeah, yo, everything's toxic now. That's just the culture that we're growing up in, I guess, where it's like it's okay to be toxic because somebody hurt you, or like it's okay to be toxic because men deserve it or women deserve it, and this, and that. And it's like, bro, like nobody deserves to be treated like they're a third rate person. Like, so, but with that said, I think we've ranted enough on the topic of Chris Brown, feminism, people's point of views. But until next time, which there will always be a next time, we'll catch y'all later. So, no. This man. No, I mean, low key will probably end up being on Twitch and everything like that. We're going to be going through a transitional period because I'm going to be essentially moving, and we'll be posting like probably more content that's mobile and just probably transition into a vlog type deal. But with that being said, stay tuned as always. Like, subscribe, and share our content if you think that somebody will actually enjoy it. So we got a lot of stuff in books to move forward, and we're just going to keep on moving forward. So appreciate y'all.
Recording stopped.
I'm gonna need you to cancel that live stream though. Now we got to say bye to YouTube.